Hello everybody, welcome to Florence, Italy. Today I'm with my girlfriend, Naomi. Today we are at Santa Maria del Fiore. It is one of the oldest churches in Europe, and as you can see, it's just towering behind me. So let's go take a little look at it. As you can see before us, for 700 years, people congregate here. This is the main area people congregate. You have the giant church, the biggest one almost in Europe, here. And then all around us here are just stores lining up, the streets up and down it. This is like the religious and civic center of Florence. And this tower behind me you see is Giotto's Campanile. It was created actually by a painter, not an architect, which is really weird. But he unfortunately passed away before his vision was seen reality. So other architects kind of finished the job for him. But the fact that this was created by a painter is really cool. And the vision is just beautiful. And it matches perfectly with the actual Duomo, the church. So the dome on this church has this church actually has a dome on top of it. And what's interesting about it is it was built without scaffolding in the 1400s, without scaffolding, which is absolutely insane. And it's one of the biggest in Europe, and it was the biggest in Europe at its time of construction as well. So yeah, I'm gonna spend the next like 3 or 4 days here in the city of Florence. Kind of just touring around the sites, letting y'all see all the beautiful history and stuff before us today. Now we're gonna go to the statue of David. You might have heard of it. It's got the shriveled up penis, which some would call the most perfect body. But yeah, we're gonna go look at that. So let's go walk to that and just maybe get lost in the city of Florence together for a moment. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. I mean, just look at this. This is, 500 years ago is just crazy to me. It's older than the United States. This thing was living and thriving. People were attending church or whatever they were doing. And then we weren't even existed. And the fact that it's still standing too is also just crazy. I mean, yeah, you can see some weathering and stuff on it, but they're restoring it constantly. And you can even go to the very top. There's some people way up there, but yeah, I'm not going up there today. The line was way too long. This is the line actually right here, I'm pretty sure. Or for at least this tower, huh? That's interesting. Yeah, we're not gonna wait in that. 500 years ago, this church was created, which is absolutely insane. It's huge. And the camera's probably not doing it justice at all, but it is literally like absolutely massive. I'm not even kidding. And there's just so much intricacies on it. Like this would have probably, I'm pretty sure there's still like, I think it's still classified as under development. But yeah, this is probably taking so long to build this. Okay. Anyways, back to the looking of the statue of David. I'm pretty sure we just gotta go straight and just keep walking down this little like walkway where everybody else is going. So let's go find him here. Let's go find David. When in Rome. This looks like the line for the statue of David, I think. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure it is, honestly.
I didn't really realize you needed a Statue of David ticket to see the Statue of David, so we didn't do that at this moment. We come back to it later on in the video.
So yeah, now we're just kind of walking down this random street, looking at some of the beautiful architecture. Really and truly, there's all kinds of monuments and stuff to look at in Florence, but you can just walk anywhere in any sort of direction and just start getting blasted in the face with history. I'm trying to like decipher what this stuff is, these little emblems on the wall, but I've got no idea. I'm gonna pronounce this one, okay? Here we go, decipher it, the Italians in the comments. Ars extollativi arte. Italians, I'm counting on you to decipher what that was. I'm gonna rent a Vespa so bad and just drive it around here, but I don't know the traffic laws. I'm gonna end up T-boning or just getting myself murdered or getting arrested and thrown in an Italian jail and then getting P. Diddy butt raped. Okay, so my girlfriend's back is going out or something, so we're gonna go sit in a coffee shop for like 20 minutes, get some coffee, rejuvenate. So yeah, be right back. Ciao, uno cappuccino per mio.
Large or regular size?
I'm sorry?
A
large, yeah, definitely a large. I need some coffee. Look at that. And then this here, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know what this is. I'm pretty sure this is like a, market area or something. But whatever it is, it's absolutely massive. We got like a little carousel here too. I don't really know where I'm at right now. I'm pretty sure this is like if somebody could translate that in Italian to English, that'd be great. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like a store, market, central kind of area, being that it kind of says Centro della Città. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that as like the central of the city in terms of like market, in like the market sense, because there's just stores all over the place. Fun fact for you too, I actually bought like a tobacco pipe from that place like 8 years ago when I was like 15. So That's kind of interesting. A lot of this architecture is probably older than the United States. And it's just absolutely beautiful too. I mean, there's wear and tear on it, you know what I mean? From just centuries of it existing, but this area it doesn't really look like that much wear and tear, honestly. It looks very like restored and very clean, but also very what it was, you know? It's not like a new modern rendition. It's just a cleaned up version of classic Florence life. So yeah, extremely old buildings. Lots of history here. We're just walking through. I mean, history is literally every single corner of this city. Now we're gonna go to the Fontana del Postelino. It's like a famous boar statue, so let's go there.
Yeah, it's pink. I like.
And then just look at that, you know what I mean, that apartment. What is that? That is just the most intricate design I've ever seen in my life. Okay, in America, this is like $50 million. What?
Persona.
Oh, yeah. Art. Florencia art, baby. Mira. So before we get to that famous boar statue, we're kind of walking through like a leather purse market. And what's cool about this is like authentic leather. Most of these little like stores, you go to cities, right? There's like immigrants and stuff like selling all kinds of shit. Not here, not this one. This is like authentic leather, as you can see. And just walking through here, it literally smells like such strong sense of leather. I mean, it's a lot of purses. I'm not a woman, so I'm not getting that big of a chub at this moment in time. But if you're a woman coming through here, you'd be probably freaking out. Hundreds of purses, hundreds of different belts, all authentic leather, sourced from, I guess, I would assume here, Italy, Florence, but definitely authentic. Oh, they got some scarves and stuff, like.
Naomi is happy here.
Soft, I like. Yeah. We used to live in Italy, and my mom would always be trying to come here and buy purses and stuff, and it was like a big thing with the Americans living in Italy that the Florence purses are like authentic and like, oh my God, we gotta go. So yeah, that's how I know about this place. But my girlfriend's currently going through like a overloading seizure of, she's getting overloaded with purses and what to buy. Look at her.
Naomi's happy here.
Baby, careful, un caballo. Naomi, Dios mío. I told you muy fuerte. You fucking come here on the carro. Took you this morning here? Yeah, my girlfriend's just like walking into the horses and shit. Like, I don't understand. She's been doing that like the last like week and a half, just like running into traffic or running. I've been having to like keep this woman from dying every 30 seconds. But yeah, I mean, look at these little tight alleyways, people everywhere, more little markets and shops over here. We got M&M, we got Red Hot Chili Peppers, 2-pack.
¿Tú quieres one t-shirt, baby?
Fuck no. The statue, baby. It's aquí.
It's aquí.
Okay, here we are. We are at the famous boar statue. Look at that. Look at this kid's rubbing it. So they say that if you grope his nose, that you get like good luck. Apparently, I don't know how much that is true. I don't know how true that is, to be honest. But I'm definitely gonna go stroke his nose. Let's go stroke his nose together. If you saw the Porta Vallarta turtle video I cooked the other day, you would have saw that those turtles would have granted you a wish. I don't think it worked because I'm still not famous on YouTube yet, so we're gonna try to do it again here. See if I can get famous on YouTube from groping this dude's nose. Okay. Give me millions of subscribers. Millions of subscribers. Okay. All right, let's reverse out of there. Well, I just stroked that boar's nose, so check the subscriber count real quick. We'll see if I get 1 million. Please? Can I have money? Okay, well, that was that.
Aqui, senhor. Aqui é meu trabalho, senhor.
Es public
It's
area.
pública,
Es public
sí.
area. Yeah, it's public area.
Vai de lá que
It's okay, come in aqui.
senão câmera na polícia.
Only cook. I
Sí,
listen
it's
music.
aquí. So I don't really know what that was. We were just sitting there taking videos of the dude violining and stuff, and then she started just pouring water on her feet and stuff, telling us to move out of her shop. Even though we weren't even in her shop, we were like on the other side of the chains. So she was on some Italian ego trip or something, but anyways, yeah, let's continue our vlog. So I guess right now they're doing like a countdown or something. It's projecting onto the church. It says the main show starts in 35 seconds. So let's go look at this. This seems interesting. We kind of walked up around something good. That was like literally the coolest thing ever. That was like Twitter right-wing edits of like ancient Italian, European culture, just projected onto an actual Italian, European monument. That was like, Twitter would have just busted so hard if they saw that. Yeah, what a dope, beautiful city. That is just so, that makes you, whenever you just watch that and just see the passion of the culture and just how important it is to this society, it's just honestly so inspiring too. It makes you feel like we're, as an American, you know, we're kind of missing a piece of being a part of something whole, you know? Having history that dates back so far, and your history just has influenced so much of the West and pretty much the entire world, honestly. Watching that gave me, you know, I have like 10% Italian in my blood. Shout out 21 DNA test, whatever that's called again. Yeah, watching that 10% Italian in my blood just boiled to like 100%. I feel like I would go die for this country right now. Anyways, so yeah, it's getting a little dark here in Florence. It's like 5:20 or something, and it's like, sun's gone. My iPhone camera is struggling with all this low lighting, but that kind of sucks. Maybe if you could subscribe, it would give me some money. I could buy a new vlog camera. This car almost killed me. And the statues, like the statues in the city are just everywhere. Every block, there's some historic monument that's got just the deepest of lores attached to it. So again, I can't really give you all the entire stories of all the stuff that we're watching and looking at here, but if you did some research, maybe somebody in the comments can help a brother out or something. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, this square, we've had enough with it. We're gonna depart to the next beautiful historical monument. Just dope, dope. It's kind of nice to kind of walking around here too with this zero like mission. And we have like a list of like monuments and stuff to hit and kind of look at, but we're just aimlessly walking around, getting lost into the city of Florence. It's honestly dope to get to do this. It's such a blessing, really. Some people have dreamed of coming to Florence, you know, getting to exploit the roots of Catholicism and whatnot. And here I am, just straight up chilling, waltzing around in it. You know, I'm always talking about quality of life, and here you can just feel and you really just see it. I mean, we're in a tourist city, yeah, but half the people you see walking around here are not tourists. They're just Italian citizens, like just going about their everyday lives and eating out every single day. Very cheap food, you know, like 10 euro pastas. It's like $11 pastas. That's something like, it's a made in Italy pasta, so you cannot get better pasta. Most authentic you can get. And yeah, everybody's just congregating. It's just a European life is very communal. Versus in the States, we are just constantly forced to buy $30 canes, you know? You wanna go to the mall, boom, $100 parking. Just like, we're just constantly getting our money stolen from us by the elites. And then you come here and it's just a complete different world. I love it, can't get enough of it. But yeah, here we go. Look at this, this is where we're at right now. So ladies and gentlemen, here we are again in another giant square in Florence, Italy. This one's a little bit different though, because I actually know a little bit about this one. I Googled it real quick. This is called, welcome to the Basilica of Santa Croce. But what's interesting about this square and what's interesting about this basilica in particular is you may have heard of the names Galileo and Michael Avecchi. But what's unique about this basilica is the tomb of Michelangelo and Galileo. It's very interesting that we're literally, I don't know if we're standing on the tombs or if they're in there and then down a little bit, but we are literally where Galileo, modern science and astronomy was like founded, I'm pretty sure. I'm not a genius, you know, I kind of remember this stuff from grade school like 10 years ago, but it's just so fascinating that, you know, you read these old textbooks in school, you got these big names, you know because you pay attention to media and you're not an idiot, you know, but we're standing here. This is where all these stories took place. This is where it happened. The city was existing pretty much when the Romans were just walking around on horses and just doing whatever they were doing. It's getting kind of late. I'm about to piss my pants. We're gonna go to the hotel for the night. So we'll do this tomorrow. We'll do some more vlogging tomorrow. I set peeing down, so we're gonna go to bed. I'll see y'all in the morning. Good night. Good morning, everybody. This is like the third or fourth day at this point. Kind of lost count. Now we're gonna go do some exploring of what we haven't seen yet in Florence and maybe take some B-roll and stuff off camera. ¿Es este turismo o no? ¿Podemos ir?
Sí, I think. Sí.
Okay, so we've got permission to film inside this giant old church that you see behind me. I took a sneak peek. It was absolutely beautiful. And guess what? It's $0. So you best believe I'm walking up in here and we're vlogging it. So let's go do that. Look at the outside of it. It's absolutely stunning. It's very old. Okay, so let's put our respectful faces on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna take the hat off and another sign of respect. This is absolutely beautiful. This is insane. And then just look at like all of the ceiling and the decoration here. Like, this is just absolutely beautiful and insane. This is hundreds of years old and hundreds of years to build and create. And it's still standing and it's absolutely stunning. And it makes you think, like, how can these people, like, how do they make this with such little technology? So we always say that, like, they had no technology. They were pretty much just going at it with rulers and sticks. You know, seeing this kind of artwork and stuff, this is just so inspiring. You know, this is what drives civilizations and keeps innovation thriving. You know, just looking at this and living amongst this, I'm so jealous. This is just, what a beautiful culture and city. But yeah, what an absolutely beautiful experience that was, getting to sit and just walk around in that church. And it was free too. They were really nice. Super cool. Super, super cool. Okay, here we go. Now we're back here from yesterday. We have some music going on. Where's this coming from? Oh my. Oh my. We are in Italy, y'all. That was really cool. There's like, look at them. They're not even done. All right, we're chasing down some Roman soldiers. Let's go. Where they headed off to? That scared the shit out of everybody. He's just pulling cannonballs? Is that what he's doing? I think that's what's happening. So now we are in the Palazzo Pitti. This is a giant, today it's a museum, and beyond a museum, it's like well, really I can tell you what it is, but I have to give you the history of it first. The Medici family, as I mentioned earlier, they pretty much, along with a couple of other families, practically funded and created Florence, kind of like the iconic, beautiful city as we all know it today. They chose and selected this as their residency, and it was kind of like a staple of like, hey, we're rich as, you know, we're super rich, all that, right? So they chose this as their residency, and it was also occupied by a couple other families and stuff as time went on. I'm pretty sure you can get a tour now. You can get a so it's just apartments and stuff everywhere, different rooms and stuff. So it's also a museum gallery below everything. So you can get a tour of where the Medici family lived. You can get a tour of all the art murals they have and sculptures they have all over the place, and they have gardens in the back as well, like their private garden. As you can see, the city is. Most buildings were constructed, at least the iconic ones, were beginning construction 800 years ago. So, I mean, you have 800 years at the minimum of history to learn of the city. So this city is literally ancient. And throughout a lot of the life expectancy of the city as well, it was occupied by Romans, which is so weird to think about. You know what I mean? You look at pictures of these people and these places on like textbooks and stuff that you skim over in school. And then it's different whenever you're actually standing here and experiencing history. You know, right now I live in Dallas, so coming here and just comparing it to Dallas, I mean, it's two different societies across the globe, but it is just such a remarkable like This is where we come from 800 years ago. Now we're just gonna sit here and smoke a cigarette real quick. There's another thing too. In America, nobody smokes cigarettes. It's like frowned upon. If you smoke cigarettes, you're like Adolf Hitler or something. Here, every other person in there, I'm seeing 11-year-olds running around with cigarettes and stuff. Like, it's different cultures, you know? It's very interesting to see this. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that bitch too. Poured water out on my girlfriend's feet and me feet. I don't know, I woke up like 5 in the morning, literally thinking about that. I was so pissed off. I couldn't get over it. I was so close to just spazzing out in the middle of that square. I mean, it was literally just insane. Like, we were just chilling there outside of her perimeter of the store, and she started just waterboarding our feet. And yeah, we're kind of just walking by the Medici, like on the sides of it. Look how big these boulder rocks are they built. Like, there are thousands of them, and it's literally half my torso. Like, imagine them having to move this and like stack this and then carve it into like glue it. Like, what? They did this hundreds of years ago. Absolutely insane. And then you come to America, right, and we're like cardboard housing. Bro, you like walking around, going up the staircase, and you could hear it from the basement. That pisses me off so bad. I mean, literally, like all of these places, like they're built of stone and rock. You know what I mean? Like, it's so sturdy. A lot of these apartments are cheap too. I mean, I doubt they're cheap right in this little area, being that we're right in front of the Medici Palace. But it's not that expensive. It's not as expensive as you think. There's some Italian dogs over there beefing it out. They're smelling each other's balls. You listen to me?
I understand.
So now we're walking through a pretty busy tourist street, right? Everybody's kind of walking to the church, walking back towards the basilicas and all the beauty in the main central Florence. All kinds of shops lining up on the streets and sides. Tabaccerias. You got, what was that? Paris, okay. Paris. You got Perry's Pizza in the United States, but this is Perry's purse store in Florence. You got some columns, random columns, ancient, standing still, not supporting a damn thing, but just thugging out. And then just look at the architecture here. Like, that's just so beautiful and insane. It's built archy, you know what I mean? It's kind of towering above, like we're cutting through apartment holes and stuff in the streets. It's just so insane, the architecture here. And what's even more insane is this is hundreds of years old and it has not collapsed yet. That's to me is just crazy. So this bridge we're walking on, right? This is, it may not look like it, but this right here is actually a bridge going all the way down. It's lined with shops and it's got apartments above the shops, but this is a bridge. And a fun fact, history fact for you, Adolf Hitler and the Germans were occupying Italy, and then the Americans were coming in through Naples and started pushing up to northern Italy. So the Germans decided to retreat and they had to fall back. So they blew up every single bridge in Florence except for this one. Hitler literally ordered this bridge not to be touched because of just the historic value that this bridge has. So yeah, also all these stores and shops, right, it's lined up with them. It's all gonna be jewelry and gold. And that is because 400 years ago, the president or the mayor, not quite sure who, was coming through this area and it was lined with, like, it used to be a meat market, right? Like all these stores were just selling meats. And it smelled horrible. And the president was like, or the mayor was like, this has got to go. This smells like horribleness. Let's put jewelry and goldsmiths here only. And that's what you're seeing here today. So that law was put in hundreds of years ago, and it's still in effect today because all you see are different types of goldsmith stores, rings, watches. Rolex is here. Right there as Rolex. And yeah, and if you didn't believe me that we're actually on a bridge, look at this. We're standing on a bridge right now. It's even crazier as Adolf Hitler spared this bridge. You hear horror stories of Hitler, but being a painter and an artist, I can actually imagine that he had such a huge like sentiment for the city, being that's such a historical, artistic monument, you know, speaking of the entire city. So yeah, it kind of makes sense now I'm thinking about it that he would spare this bridge. There's Ponte Vecchio. That's this bridge. Super cool. It's the only bridge in Florence that wasn't destroyed. It's the only bridge in Florence that's ancient. Every bridge is new, except for this one. New, relatively speaking, like 80 years old when World War II was going on. Be honest with me though, how would y'all be comfortable living in those apartments towering above the river? being it's old and I'd be shitting my pants every night. I mean, it's literally terrifying to sleep in that. So yeah, we have tickets tomorrow to go into the Statue of David, but we also leave tomorrow to go to a place called Vicenza, Italy, but you can check that out and probably sometime after this video's up. Huh?
Sorry, vomit.
Uh-oh.
Meeting me habla. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Naomi's stepping on vomit. AS caminar on vomit. So now we're just gonna free ball it right now, kind of walk around, see what we get into. We've hit most of the big tourist attractions at this point, and we could probably hit so many more. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands of more tourist attractions we can go find and look at. But I kind of want to just like roam around, just kind of lost in the city, because you can only do that so many times in your life, you know. You only got like 80 years on this planet, you know, 60 of them you're able to walk and like talk on your own and stuff. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna just wander around and just find history, find stories to tell you guys, and let's just do it. Let's just go. Look, we got art people on the sides, got the military posted up, keeping the homeless out, keeping all the crime down. This is really cool though. They got some nice art. You can just sit here and get a face painting, or you just get like a face drawing of you. They can make it look exaggerated, make you look retarded. And then this as well. Yeah, this is absolutely beautiful here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 7 o'clock at night in Florence, Italy on a nice rainy day. So we just kind of chilled out at the hotel, we got some food. Now we're kind of just killing time, walking around, doing some shopping and stuff. We're gonna hit some stores, maybe look at some markets, what they have to offer here. You know, I showed you a little bit earlier of some purse stores and stuff, like the purse markets. Yeah, that's like the big hub of it, but there's a lot of purse markets and stuff and all kinds of different just stand markets. The wind's going crazy here. It's taking my umbrella. I'm like Mary Poppins, about to start flying through Florence. But yeah, we're gonna follow this crowd of people and we're gonna head to this little market up here on the corner. Let the church bells guide us to our destination. Yeah, right here, this is like the second market for purses and stuff that I know of. I know the other one that y'all saw earlier in the video, it's kind of the bigger one. This is kind of like round two, smaller edition. So here we go. Let's check it out. As you can see, leather authentic, or at least allegedly authentic purses and leather crafts from Florence, Italy. I don't know how authentic this stuff is, to be honest with you. I know a lot of these guys are straight up scammers. Gonna keep it a buck. But I also know that a lot of them are not, and they actually are just honest salesmen and stuff, because Florence has a huge leather scene. It's like the Diamond District in New York, but for leather here. I mean, literally, there's like stands, we're just walking past everywhere, there's little shops inside, little cracks and stuff, right? I mean, it's a pretty long little stand area too. I mean, it goes, baby. More purses on the side here. Yeah, a lot of purses, lots of jewelry, lots of tourist knickknacks you can get. Look, it goes down here. We got more markets down there. It goes more down the middle. I'd say this one's probably honestly bigger than the other little stands we were looking at yesterday. The other stands were in like a nice, well done area, but this is like more open spacing. You know, I kind of like it. It kind of gives like an old school Florentian market kind of vibe. You know, I'm feeling like I'm in the 1400s out here, trying to get some bread or something for my family back home. You know, yeah, people are really friendly here too, for the most part. Minus that bitch pouring fucking water on my feet. If you're curious about some of the pricings of some of these leather purses and stuff, I've been looking around. They're like anywhere from like 80 bucks to 120 euro, you know, depending on how nice it is. Some of the bigger leather bags go for like 200 plus. So yeah, if you were curious about that, you know, bring some money, women coming to Florence. You're gonna need it for these purses. They are really nice, I'm not gonna lie to you. And the entire, I will say, the markets and stuff, as you're walking through it just reeks of leather, which is actually kind of nice. I mean, it's a good smell. Who doesn't like the smell of like high quality done leather? I have found my girlfriend again. We've wandered upon each other. So now we're gonna continue on. I think the market stand's done. I think that's all we got here.
Mira, este es el que me told you
Huh?
de Milo.
Okay. Oh, see, that's what you want. Yeah, she likes. See.
What price?
It's a good price. How much?
Which color you like?
Baby, you like white, huh? Blanco?
Um,
Okay, it's 250, huh?
What color? Now closing
I
time,
like-
good price.
Good price, local price.
Also inside long is
I like, oh, I like all.
You like all? You need decision.
It's a black.
Nope.
I selling
I
is
like
black and
the
beige.
white and pink también.
How much for the black one?
Look, summer price too much. Now good price.
Uh-huh. ¿Cuántos?
Which color?
Okay, you think?
Example, white.
Yeah, white.
Just 55.
Oh, that's a good price. Okay.
Normal
That is
price.
muy good price. Yeah.
Summer price this 95, 85.
Yeah, I look. Yeah, muy. Yeah.
55.
That is good, baby. It is. I'm an assistant salesman here.
Elegante come così, elegante.
Sí. Qué color?
I mean, it's not my decision, baby. You were,
Help her.
you were the genius woman, you know. You were the boss.
The price
I
is
think-
6.5? 6.5 is the price?
Mitosh. I mean, it's nice. I like. It's ¿cuántos? Otra vez?
55.
55. Okay.
Selling 85, 95.
Yeah.
Summer price, but look now, full day, no business. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Black or pink?
I like pink. I think. I mean, me like blanco, pero de tu gusta
No,
pink.
white no. Me tengo white.
Okay.
The,
Well, then,
is the black or pink?
okay. Pink.
Pink nice.
Yeah, pink is nice. I like the pink. Yeah, I am sure. 100%.
Sure.
Oh, I'm very sure. Yep. 1,000,000% sure. Yeah, you was indecisive.
Like a
anything?
pink.
I think I need my banco cry. I need a little break, you know.
Just hard.
I don't know.
Maybe shoulder back something.
You get me in trouble. Now, like, yeah, we bought a little bit. Now they're wanting to sell even like harder to us to get me just like buy more. Of course, baby. See, I love you. Well, at least we bought this purse, so we're gonna do like a little authentic. We can do like an investigation of this purse. For any of the women who are watching this, she's just gonna just sit here and have her make her guess. For any of the women who are watching this, we're about to let's go and look at this purse real quick, and we'll tell you if this is some bullshit. If it's fake. Did we just get scammed out of $60? You know, it's 55 euro. It's probably like 65 bucks. So yeah, let's go check it out and see if we just got fucked in the ass. Okay, so here's the bag, right? I don't know. I mean, honestly, like if I'm being real, feeling it, it does give me like, it does feel like authentic leather. I mean, it could be synthetic. I'm not gonna lie to you. This kind of gives me a synthetic leather vibe. You know, I think if you're having to guess and second guess on yourself, I'm pretty sure this is synthetic. I don't know why I bought this. I felt a little bit of pressure from these fucking people. You know what I mean? I feel like I needed to be daddy and throw a credit card in their face and buy my shawty this shitty synthetic purse. So yeah, I guess if you're going there, you know, in the markets and stuff, touch the purses beforehand you buy them. So yeah, the purses, you know, it wasn't bad. It's not a bad purse, but definitely seems synthetic. Definitely seems a little like cheaper and stuff in quality. Not a big deal though. It's totally fine. We got some American music pumping through the streets of Florence. That's what we call colonization, baby. Well, we're not even using Google Maps. We're just using our brain power. I'm using every single wrinkle in my marble brain. My brain is a marble. It's smooth and flat, but I'm trying to sprout as many wrinkles so we can figure out where we're going. But yeah, I have no idea where we're going. I will say that those guys, like, I was kind of being harsh, bashful about the tent salesmen. They were cool though. I mean, you know, they were just, I mean, of course they're gonna be cool. They're trying to sell you stuff, make money, take your money. So, I mean, they're not gonna be like repulsive like that one lady was, dumping water all over me. Give me a KGB waterboarding treatment like I'm some sort of Soviet bastard. Anyways, yeah, we're just walking here, zero idea where we're going. I highly recommend, if you ever get the opportunity to just kind of walk around random European cities in your future, you do it. So now let's go check out the huge basilica at nighttime. Like, this thing is just humongous. You can see it from when you're entering the city, driving into the mountains and stuff. You can just see this behemoth just towering over everything. It's absolutely massive. The dome on it is insane too. It took like 100 years to make that dome. You know, like the baptism thing in front of it, the tower behind it, right there in the middle, that was made not by an architect, but by a painter. I'm just recounting what I already told you on the video, but I just think it's really interesting, the history, you know? I mean, a freaking painter architected this tower, And then the church is just, I mean, the amount of intricacies in this thing would take, and it did take, hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. You know, Daddy's going to work every day, right? And going to build this big ass church, and then Daddy didn't even get to see it's finished, you know? And then the son didn't even get to finish. It went like 7 generations until finally it was completed. So when you put it in perspective like that, it really puts it into perspective of how important this church is. You know, how many lives kind of went into hundreds, if not even probably thousands of lives went into developing this beautiful structure. Here we are once again, ladies and gentlemen. The beautiful, beautiful basilica at nighttime. I'm no way an expert in Europe or in architecture, anything really. I'm an expert in nothing. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say this is the most impressive basilica in all of Europe. I'm saying that. I'm saying that, and I'm gonna go down the hill. I will change my mind if I come across a better basilica. So now we're on the hunt for a better basilica, and you'll see maybe a better one in a future video or something. There's just a behemoth of a structure behind me, you know? Absolutely beautiful and insane. I could literally just come here and just stare at that thing all fucking day, honestly. Well, I think we're gonna go back to the hotel. You know, that was a good shopping experience we had right there. We've been kind of walking around since like 7 in the morning, you know. Took a break at like 4 p.m. and we went back out like 7, so that was our itinerary for the day. Yeah, I'm kind of tired, honestly. I need to go rejuvenate, probably smoke a little something, wind down. I will say too, another thing I completely noticed immediately off rip in Europe, everybody's walking, everyone's fit, no fatties. It's cool being fat. Hey, if you're fat, you're fat, you know what I mean? I'm a little fat boy myself sometimes, but it's just something you really notice, that there's literally nobody morbidly obese. You know, everybody's walking, everybody's extremely fit, good looking too, so very interesting. Here we go, entering the hotel. And this is our view. You just see a nice reflection of me. What's up, y'all? Yeah, ice skating ring down there. You can see a little bit of it. Ferris wheel up there. A little bit on the outskirts of the city. 5 minutes walk through the train station. Pretty convenient. But yeah, we're gonna go to sleep and hang out for the rest of the night. Hang out and then go to sleep. So I'll see you all in the morning whenever we go to the museums and do all that. Sorry, my girlfriend's screaming in the background. See y'all later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. We are catching a train like 3 hours, but real quick, we're gonna go look at the statue of David. We are in line to do that, so let's go do that for a minute. Okay, so now we're gonna hit the statue of David, and it is absolutely massive. Oh my Lord. Okay, this is just to put into scale for a minute how big the statue is, and probably how long it took them. It's just absolutely insane. Like I'm a 5'8" dude, and I'm kind of a short guy, but this is like 7 of me, 8 of me at least. Absolutely. His dog is probably bigger than me.
All right, everybody, we're gonna continue our adventures on throughout Italy. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. This is Florence. We're in the Florence train station. We're gonna take the train to Vicenza, Italy. So you'll see that video in a little bit. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Adios.